It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and the Jet, Kenny Smith. Let's get to it. A pretty close game for the Wizards throughout the first quarter. At the end of the period, they held a 4-point lead. They didn't stop fighting in the second quarter as they maintained most of their first quarter lead and now lead by 3 at the break. And let's get your thoughts, Kenny, on the Wizards.
Well, they were consistent from downtown. The playmakers found open shooters, and the shooters delivered and knocked down shots on a high level. In some ways, it came down to confidence. We'll see if they have that same swagger in the second half.
And Shaq, what are your thoughts on Detroit?
They played some solid team basketball, Ernie. Pretty good. They were sharing the ball. We saw some nice feeds, a lot of movement. It wasn't 5 individuals out there. It was one cohesive unit that got the assist to show for it. Their rhythm was nice.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half, about to get underway.
Playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for him. And we'll be right back after this.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
Execution. This is what you practice every day. These guys are...
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan Player of the Game, Blake Griffin.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working, and no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
Wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, David Aldridge, Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long and good night, everyone.
Nova is going to match up across from them. Scrappy on that play.
At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Toronto ahead. They lead by 3. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Tremendous first half. Glad to have you back. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. The first quarter for the Cavaliers was fairly even. They kept at it on both ends of the floor, and at the end of the period, they had a slight deficit of 3 points. They had a slight edge on the scoreboard in the second quarter, but only by the slimmest of margins. Kenny, your thoughts? How are the Cavaliers playing?
You have to love a team that pounds the offensive glass. That's going to gain you extra possessions. And check this out. Sometimes just having more offensive chances than your opponent wins the basketball game.
Shaq, let's get your insight on Toronto.
They ran their offense very well in the first half. There were almost no forced shots. It was good, smart basketball. The motion in their offense was terrific. They made those defenders work very hard. I like what I saw from them for the most part.
And that's going to do it for us here. The second half of action is coming your way.
And a double-double. And there's nowhere to go but up for him. Back to the action after this word. To present our Jordan Player of the Game, Pascal Siakam.
He deserves a lot of credit, but the D they played on him deserves a little bit of the blame as well. Even when he got hot, they didn't do enough, I don't think, to try and cool him off. And they've been passive when they've needed to be aggressive, and boy, did he make them pay.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, guys, during the last timeout, I listened to Nick Nurse talk to his team. He said, this is what we play for, fellas. Let's knock them on their heels right out of the timeout. Show them how much you want it. Go get it. He really is fired up about this game, Kevin.
For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. See you later. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
After one half of play, it's been a one-sided affair. Hey, everybody, welcome back. This is Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. James Harden led the way in the first half. He ended up with 17 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. The first 2 quarters tonight looked a lot like what we saw from him in his last game. Kenny, what'd you think about the Rockets?
One of the big questions coming in is, how do you defend James Harden? He could take you in either direction. He has the crossover and the jab and go. And one of the best shot makers in the game.
Shaq, what did you see from San Antonio?
Well, they struggle in a number of areas. Protecting the rim is really at the top of the list. They haven't made that a priority. They haven't put forth a whole lot of effort. You got to protect the rim.
And that does it for our halftime show. We now take you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the third period.
But over already. Houston on top, running away with this one. We'll be back shortly live from Houston, Texas.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
No, it's quick decision making. You see a guy open, you can't hesitate. That's an outstanding
For
play.
Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. See you later.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, basketball fans. What a pleasure it is to bring you into the 2K studios again. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. For the Grizzlies, the first quarter was pretty even. They did give up a couple baskets more than they wanted to, and at the end of the period, were trailing by 5 points. Things finally started to click for them in the second quarter as they battled all the way back to tie this game up at the break. Kenny, what'd you think about the Grizzlies?
Well, there was a big spark from the bench in the first half. Sometimes you're hoping for your reserves to come in and just hold court, but they didn't do that. They actually got better.
And Shaq, your thoughts on the Heat?
Well, I thought the one bright spot was the effort on the glass. Several times when momentum was sliding, getting a timely rebound really lifted it. Strong work on the glass is key because that's how you string together a series of big stops.
And that should do it. With the second half about to begin, let's send you back to Kevin Harlan. Go back to Kevin Harlan. Go. Just go over there.
They finish off the third quarter with an energy burst, a 19-6 run. Live from the FedEx Forum, you're watching 2K Sports. That's going to do it for now. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Force for Milwaukee. His performance that quarter has earned him a double-double. Seems like he's been everywhere in this game. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, folks. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, and let's talk the first half. It was a big-time first quarter for Giannis Antetokounmpo. He ended up with 19 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists. Shaq, let's get your take on Milwaukee.
Well, the Greek Freak, he said in his interview that he's low-key. But you saw in the first half, he got that rare inner passion for the game. Kind of like Kawhi Leonard, Tim Duncan. They just destroy you quietly.
And over to Kenny. Let's get your insights on Dallas.
It looked like they were shooting threes blindfolded. Sometimes you could get cold, but that was atrocious. It was scary. But they also looked scattered out there, and I think that disorganization was the main issue for them missing those shots. They need to establish themselves better, into a better rhythm in the second half, and avoid relying so heavily on the three-point shot.
Thanks for joining us, folks. We're now just a few minutes away from the start of the third quarter.
And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
We call that, Greg, putting it right in the pocket, and he knew what to do with it.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And guys, he's been about as close to perfection as you can be. The intensity he's played with has been amazing. Just no let up. And as fired up as he's been.
For Doris Burke, David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Back in a moment here in Oklahoma City.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Program. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. It was a closely contested first quarter for Chicago. At the end of the period, they held a three-point lead. The second quarter saw them lose just a fraction of the lead they held at the end of the first, as they're now ahead by 2 points at the half. And Kenny, what did you think about what you saw from Chicago?
Well, their success was largely about second chance points. They crashed the offensive boards heavy in the first half. I love how they fight for every 50-50 ball like it's the last ball on earth.
And big fella, let's get your thoughts on the Thunder.
The thing I like is their aggressive approach and getting to the line. You know, when things seem to stagnate on offense, it's sometimes a matter of forcing your will. This team can generate a lot of points and also dictate the pace of the game if they play with that aggressiveness.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half, about to get underway.
Game here. Bulls lead by 1. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Oklahoma City.
An easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
This is why you preach teamwork. Some of the most spectacular plays are the ones where guys are feeding
Our
off one
Jordan
another.
Player of the Game, Chris Paul.
And he's been the man running the show for them, and boy, has he done a great job. He's up in the double digits in assists, and more than a few of those have been of the spectacular variety. For them to be successful, his passing has to be a key component, and tonight it was on display.
Tonight, folks, for our broadcast. Now for Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge. This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA here on 2K Sports. So long and good night, everyone. Points total. We'll get right back to the action when we return.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, basketball fans. What a pleasure it is to bring you into the 2K studios again. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Devin Booker putting in some incredible work. He ended up with 17 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists. Some great work from him in the first 2 quarters. Let's hear from you, Shaq, on the Suns.
Defensively going in, you game plan against Devin Booker. But he can demolish your playing quick when he gets that shot going. And guess what? He's been unstoppable.
And Kenny, what did you see from Portland?
Well, it's good to be physical, but there's a line that you don't want to cross. You can't constantly give up free throw chances by fouling guys too aggressively. You have to get back in this game by staying poised, smart, and avoid fouling.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half, about to get underway.
They've been playing some ferocious defense. And don't go away. We'll be right back.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
How about the unselfishness? Night in and night out, we see guys trying
Thanking
to
you
force
for
their
watching
own.
the NBA on 2K Sports. So long, everyone.